Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. It just cut out on me, and the little thing said, "Would you like to go back?" And I said yes. Oh, there's the first one. All right, cross that one off. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. It just cut out on me. Maybe just because there's so many people online and uh, so much stuff going on. I'm actually just surprised that I didn't knock out. So there's your Nightcrawler. I'll bug you about an address or a desired destination. Sorry about that. Yeah, it just cut out on me. Yeah, I'll give it a shot, Desiree. Dark Phoenix X Baby. That's a new one for me, so I don't know. Thanks, Desiree. I got a whole pile of papers, so as long as I can go, I will go. I don't draw so well like Bruce Timm, so it's always kind of like a modified version of the. I do think there was a question going around, and I forget who it was when they were asking about the most influential Batman artists, and I was kind of shocked that nobody mentioned Bruce Timm or the like Batman the animated series. That Shane, it's really the other folks that are out there doing the real work, and being on the front lines with sick people and keeping the shelves stocked for people like myself that just draw pictures that make it possible. So, oh, thanks, Joe. I have a little bit of practice in the animated style, just because I recently did a Scarecrow commission. And that was fun. Yeah, everybody was just mentioning people even mentioned the movie people for the most influential Batman artists, and I was shocked. Paul Dini and Bruce Timm's version of Batman, I think, exposed so many new people to the character, in the animated series. Rose Wilson. I don't know who that is, but I will look it up. Oh, that's the Lady Deathstroke. Ah, I got you. I see where we're getting at. But this is just my way of thanking the people that are out there and want to be supportive of my friends that are going through a tough time, people losing their jobs. It's tough. And if I can just sit in and draw pictures and make people happier, I'm happy to do it. I don't know what that link is, Desiree, but on that thread, I think people were really talking about Jim Aparo was a big one, which I love Jim Aparo because of like all the Brave and the Bold stuff. But there was a thread that even had like Kelly Jones in it. And he's one of the most influential guys for people my age. His time on Batman. Neil Adams has to be mentioned, just because what he and Denny O'Neil did originally in Brave and the Bold to bring that character back, kind of from where the Adam West show, as much as I love it, had taken it. Netflix season 1 Daredevil. What about it? Is that what you would like a sketch of, Danny? Season 1 Daredevil. I'd have to look up some reference, but that's the beauty of the internet. I was just talking about that with somebody the other day. I think I lost my circle template, unfortunately. Thought I had it. I brought it in here. Oh, there it is. There we go. jelly bean. I'm a pretty good fisherman. I think that's like my only apocalypse skill. I used to work at a tackle shop on Nantucket, and I used to fix all sorts of fishing gear, tuna rigs, pond stuff, all kinds of different gear. So I think that would be my zombie apocalypse job, would be fishing related. Ian Asher, how you been? I haven't seen you in years. Creator of The Last Paladin for digital webbing. An artist that inspired me. Oh, there's a million of them. Comic artist or artist? I do remember the Paladin, yeah. I still have those issues signed in my collection somewhere, signed by yourself, and I think Mahmoud signed one of them for me. Sorry for the marker noise. I also always liked the penguin's little ponytail he had. You like the marker noise? I think you're the only one. I always liked the Penguin on the also the Batman '66 cartoon show. I mean the TV show, the Burgess Meredith one. I always liked it. Burgess Meredith as the Penguin. I like Danny DeVito. I'll be interested to see what Colin Farrell does. I mean, for those that don't know, I mean, I'm a big fan of penguins. Well, then, Cam, I'm very glad you came by, and I'm looking forward to drawing your sketch. So, um, I'm sorry you had a bad day. Cesar Romero, yeah, that's, and the Frank Gorshin Riddler. I mean, it's tough to top that. Now, because there's one of the things with this type of drawing, this type of character, I don't want to put too much ink wash on it just because it's supposed to be that simplified animated style. So I'm actually not going to, anywhere where there's black, I'm not going to put any. So we're just going to put it on his face. Try to keep it clean. That is an interesting rumor. I haven't heard it yet. But then again, I'm not. I try to avoid a lot of the movie stuff online. I try to go in. I don't even like chase trailers anymore. Virgie, how you doing? It's going good. People are coming in, trying to have some fun. A lot of people had some rough days, so if we can goof off and make some comic artwork, I can put some stamps on them and just drop them in the mail. I'm happy to do it. You doing okay, Bird? You surviving the GameStop experience? I'm gonna grab the really light one. Hey, thanks, Mike. Oh, I forgot to do this little ribbit. Yeah, I think, and we're all looking forward to that day. I think. Look forward to just seeing people like normal. Didn't leave myself any room to sign this, so just add a little white in. Need that to dry some. Try signing. How long have I been a cartoonist? Well, the first comic books I ever did were in high school, and I'm getting older now, so. But I also did newspaper strips and all kinds of stuff. Before that, I did fine art and all kinds of baloney that. All right, we got Penguin. On to the next one. Who's next? We got Aquaman. Hey, all right, that's my guy. I'm sorry, Danny. Oh, thank you, Danny. That's very nice of you to say. I'm glad you're here. Glad we're hanging out. We're having a good time. If I can make it people's days a little better, then I feel a little better about, drawing cartoons isn't the most important thing. I don't know if you guys watch the drink and draws that Dave Johnson and them do. Dan Panosian's on there, Jeff Johnson. But they had one with Howard Chaykin recently that I watched that was excellent. Hey, Ian, stay in touch. It was really good to hear from you. Thanks for hanging out, man. Stay safe out there. Yeah, it was really good. They talked about a myriad of things from, obviously what's going on with the pandemic to the history of comics to all kinds of stuff. I would highly recommend it, especially for folks that want to hear about like behind the scenes comic stuff and really in-depth storytelling concepts. Dave Johnson draws like a really pretty Doctor Doom sketch cover. I think they have Dan DiDio on this week. DiDio. I don't know how you pronounce it. But the former publisher EIC of DC Comics. And I think Campana's got a stream doing. He was going to do one earlier today, but I think he's doing it tomorrow now. Hi, Lisa. I mean, I can talk Aquaman artists all day. I can talk underrated Aquaman artists. I can talk the best of all time. Um, you don't want to overthink it. I mean, you just think of how good, like the Nick Cardy stuff was, and Perro. An underrated one that I always try to point out, and he's not known for his DC work. He's known for his work on Iron Man, and that's Don Heck. He did like a 5 or 6 part serialized story that was about Mira coming back. That was just he inked himself on it, and it was just terrific. I tend to draw Arthur's face a little longer. Underrated Aquaman artists. Oh, yeah, there's so many that people sleep on. I mean, I honestly, even the most recent guys like Paul Pelletier, like just absolutely terrific storytelling with Jeff Parker. Um, the Maelstrom story arc and everything that had to do with, if you decide to read it, I mean, it's as far up. There's just some amazing stuff with DC's Hercules. If you ever read the Garcia Lopez, Paul Levitz, Wally Wood, later on Simonson and Bob Layton, Hercules that DC did in the 70s. It's terrific stuff. If you like, I know it's post-apocalyptic, so I don't want to recommend it too heavily during these times, but the artwork is just absolutely terrific. My good pal Joe St. Pierre has to be underrated as well. He did an issue. He did one issue, and it was inked by 2 different people, and there was such a distinction between the 2 different inkers that it was mind-boggling. Getting too into this. He picked my favorite character, so I'm spending more time on it. Obviously, I apologize to people afterwards if I spent less time than I am on this one. But it just happens. If you pick Aquaman, I gotta get all the little details I want in there. Even Alex Ross, like the little bit of Aquaman he did in Kingdom Come. I mean, you don't generally think of Alex Ross with Aquaman, but it's just terrific, as one would expect. Butch Guice, Sean McManus, other underrated Aquaman artists, man. Don Newton, I mean, one of the greats of the Bronze Age, had that Golden Age feel to it. All right. Let me also think. There's Esteban Maroto did that great Atlantis Chronicles. See, I can just keep going, and I'm sure people don't want to hear about Aquaman comics all night, but Kurt Trevinian, he did the Time and Tide miniseries. Craig Hamilton. In an alternate universe, there is a place where instead of going, and I read about this in Back Issue magazine. I'm just going to keep going. we're on this topic, so why not? Alan Davis, instead of going to Batman and the Outsiders and then Detective Comics, was originally going to do Aquaman. So in an alternate reality, somewhere out there in the multiverse, there is an Alan Davis, early Alan Davis DC run on Aquaman, like right after he did like, Captain Britain and that stuff. My Aquaman Dream Creative Team, minus me? Question mark. I think that's the only DC character that I would ever lobby to try to do something for. That or Angel and the Ape. I would like to make that one less cringy, but just as fun. I don't know, he kind of looks like, what was that guy's name? Laird Hamilton, who's the surfer guy. Does that make sense? Blonde surfer dude. Let's say the light's coming this way. I don't want to overdo the hair since he's a blonde. I have a tendency to do that. I remember when I first met Ramona Fradon, legendary, Silver Age, Bronze Age, still drawing today artist, co-creator of Aqualad. And she told me that she loved drawing Aquaman because he was just so handsome. If you ever get a chance to meet her or speak to her or buy her artwork, she's a wonderful lady in person, or at least always was to me. And I've never heard a bad thing about her. Right now, I'll tell you who, let's say other than me, because I would love to work on it. I would love Ray Anthony Height to draw Aquaman. I think that he would be terrific on the book. I think he does action supremely well. And he's an awesome guy. He did an Aquaman sketch for me. And it came out great. And who would I want to write it? I mean, Parker did such a great job writing it. You know what? I'm gonna be a homer, and I'm gonna say one of my other friends. I'm gonna say, let's have Todd DeZago write Aquaman and have Ray Anthony Height draw it. And I want an Atlantis Chronicles backup series And I mean, having my buddy Daryl, see, I got so many friends I'd love to see draw it that would be better than me. But I think they do a great job. But even Daryl Banks getting to do Return to DC and do Aquaman. But for tonight, I'll say Ray Anthony Height drawing, Todd DeZago writing, and let's go with Atlantis Chronicles backups by just a menagerie of my buddies, like Craig Rousseau in there. Let's get Campana in there. Let's get as many of my buddies in there as I can get. Dwayne Redhead, let's get him in there. Hey Jerry, how are you? Sorry I haven't gotten to your Zorro sketch yet. Just trying to boost morale during the pandemic. I'm sorry I haven't been on every Wednesday lately. It's just been obviously crazy with everything going on, and my gigs have yo-yoed back and forth, and I've just had to like turn on a dime to do stuff, and I just haven't been able to keep a regular schedule. But we're here tonight. Hopefully we'll be here next Wednesday. All right. Light source was up over here, so does anybody have any can't miss recommendations for Netflix or other streaming services? Preferably movies, not TV shows. I saw Tiger King. I did. Heist. What's that one? Onward on Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus. All I have is uh, Netflix and Amazon Prime. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. Can't afford all the random streaming services. The Mandalorian. Yeah, I want to see it. Everybody says it's good. I did see that. I'll finally get to see the latest Star Wars movie. I did not see that in the theater. So that's on streaming, or at least you can rent it now from home. I don't think my wife will want to watch it, so it'll be me and the cat watching it. MST3K and Riff Tracks. I watch those all the time. I love those. I wonder if they're going to put any more of the seasons of MST3K on any of the streaming services. All the Bright Places. Yeah, I'll check it out. Hey, Eli, good to see you, man. You guys holding up? Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's a show I haven't seen, so I probably should check that out. You know, people tell me I would like it. I don't. Never seen it. Hey, Chris, what's shaking, man? Been loving the art you've been posting. All right, I gotta stop fidgeting. Get on to the next one. Shout Factory. See, that's one I gotta look into because they seem to have a lot of stuff that I would like. All the weird horror DVDs. All right, Aquaman in the books. X-Baby's Dark Phoenix. I have not seen an X-Baby in years. I know Art Adams did them, and those were very, very good issues. I just gotta remember how exaggerated they were. Oh, that's cool. Like a Scotty Young. Yeah, that was just through most of the X-Baby stuff. See, like that's what I remember. Thanks, Joe. I guess I have to type in Art Adams. Has it been that long? The Aquaman goes to a gentleman from earlier this evening. Did they do a bunch of stuff after that? I don't remember them doing a bunch of stuff after it. I'm just thinking like big eyes, exaggerated expression. The sound of me chewing on jelly beans is probably annoying. However, I'm gonna keep eating jelly beans. Oh, not at all, Thomas. Thank you for sharing my stuff. I really appreciate it. We're here just trying to spread a little fun. People that are out there working hard every day. From the doctors to the grocery store workers to the delivery people to the folks that are, having a rough go of it. People that lost their gigs, which I was one of those people, but then I was recalled basically a week later to do a Rush comic book job, which I, to this moment, don't know how that came about, but I will take it. Jay Russo, yeah. I like his stuff. I miss his strips in the back of Marvel Comics. I know that was a long time ago now, but yeah, I mean, I have no idea how long it'll last. I don't know if it'll be a week. I don't know if it'll be a month. I have no idea. But, I'm getting up every day and working my butt off and making comics at this time. It's a little tough to be like, hey, this is important, but I have to try to keep it in perspective or keep a level head. It's like, this is what I need to do to make some money to pay for groceries and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, the idea of a Rush comic book in this environment, like somehow, like my entire career, I've been doing Rush jobs. Like I honestly think I've had full-time